G'day all, Mark here in the backyard again. Over the time getting back into archery, buying my first bow and off eBay and arrows off eBay, which a lot of people will do when they first start off into archery, get into it the easiest way possible. So basically the first thing I did was went out and bought a black hunter because I'd seen so many good reviews on them. And they were correct, which is a great beginner's bow. Actually, if you're a good archer, you can stack arrows really well with this little thing. This one's 40 pounds. With my draw length, I'm pulling about 38 to 39 pounds because I'm only pulling around about 27 inches. And the first thing everybody does when they go out, get into archery, set their bow up. Oh, it's cool. String silencers like this. Looks good, but the thing is, do you really need them? So I fell into that trap. So actually this little bow, triangular bow here, looks like a copy of the Bodnik Shrew. It's only a Chinese bow, 40 pound. This thing rings like a bell. So it needs string silencers. It was just annoying. Not that it affects the performance or anything, but these, I had to put, as you see, squirrel tails I call them, on the bow. Same thing I did with the Black Hunter as well. I went out and I put string silencers on it as well. I've got the pads under the string because yes, it does need them. The string does slap the recurve. So as far as I think, that's a must. But I had squirrel tails, the silencers on this one as well. And when I sort of got further down the track and I'm thinking to myself, I need a new bowstring, I put the string on with no silencers on it. And I started shooting arrows, all these different arrows. And I found if I shot a slightly different arrow, slightly heavier arrow, the noise became less. So I experimented with different weight arrows. Obviously the bow quietened down. So now these days, I'm shooting anywhere from, sometimes I'll shoot 360 grain out of it, and it's a bit noisy. But I reduced my draw length, so I'm shooting less poundage. So roughly about 10 GPP, 10 grains per pound is what I like to shoot out of it, or even higher. So arrows out of the box, I've got 6 different arrows here. I've got 6 arrows, all identical. 3 have got 100 grain points out of the box. 3 have got 200 grain points that I put on it. These ones come out at about 177 feet per second if I pull off a nice shot. These ones will come off at about 164 feet per second. So that difference in speed, yeah, I was a speed demon. So I've got out of that habit now. I'm just looking for comfortable shootability and accuracy. Whereas these things are a little bit like a wildcat and I can be a bit erratic with them. These ones, they tend to slow everything down. Slow the movement of the bow, obviously the bowstring, the reaction of the limbs, all that sort of thing, and I just find them more comfortable to shoot. And the noise level of the bow. The bow's telling me that it likes these arrows. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shoot these arrows for you. So this video is all about for your ears. So you can listen to the sound of my bow when I shoot these arrows. So, and you can form your own opinion as to which one might be doing harm to my bow and which one won't. So let's get on with it. First of all, I'll shoot the lightweight arrows. 360 grains. These have got the extra 100 on them, so they're 460 grains. I've got my cronny set up here. So this is might be a bit of a long video, but just bear with me. You might find it interesting. So I'm about 3 feet back from the chronograph. I've put an extra knocking point. I normally only have one knocking point on it, and I load above the knocking point. But for this test, I'll put an extra knocking point on. So this is where listening for the sound of the bow. The old archer's hat fold back. Oh wow, that last one. 176 feet per second, that last one. We're coming in 170 to about 176. So now these are 460 grain. Just reset the chronic. Now the speed reduction is what I think, if you're just shooting targets, is quite negligible. $155. Some people might say that's a lot. That was a crap shot too. It wasn't fully expanded. 159. You have to take my word for that. I'm not picking the thing up and showing you the chronic, or I will on the last one. 160. Okay, we're talking probably 15 feet a second. Now, could you notice that when you're shooting targets? Did you hear the sound of the bow a lot quieter? Let's just run through that again. I'll quickly grab those arrows. Sorry guys, I'm no good. I've got no editing stuff, so just bear with me. Let's go those lightweight arrows again. 360 grain. $169. Duo, 169. $171. So, noise. Concentrate on that noise. I've got to aim below those other arrows. So I'm concentrating. Oh, that one caught my sleeve. $151. So the noise is what it's all about, guys. So if you're new into archery and you just bought yourself a bow, just indulge yourself in a few different point weights. Once you've got your bow and your arrows, get some different point weights at the time. And just do some testing before you rush out and put string silencers on and that sort of thing, depending what type of bow you've got. If you've got a long bow, you obviously don't put it, there's nothing needed up on the limb tips. But yeah, just don't be too quick to try and silence your bow, because your bow, when you fire that bow, it's talking to you. And I'll just show you something else. I came across the channel the other week of string walking with these traditional bows. Now, if you watch all the bare bow shooters that string walk, they've got basically Olympic style bows, and they adjust the tiller on their limbs to account for their walking up and down the string, for the timing of the limbs, and that's important. Now, these particular bows, the manufacturers made them to be shot basically 3 finger or maybe 3 under, so you can get away with it. I'll just show you what they sound like if you start string walking with these bows that are not set up for string walking. Now remember guys, it's all about your ears. Now I'm going to walk down the string probably about a finger width down the string. Now you listen to the sound of this bow. I've done it. I don't know, I'll shoot 1 arrow, I'll maybe shoot 2, but I don't think I'll do that more than that. But just listen to it. There we are, about a finger width below the string. Oh no. 1 arrow is all you get. So you're going to start string walking with this kind of bow, and you're going to start putting those vibration dampeners here and there on your limbs. Man, think twice about it, you know. You just heard that noise. Will I do it again? Okay. Let me just do it again. I don't like it, but here we go, about a finger width down. I'm only about 1.5 meters from the camera. Okay, let's have a fair dinkum shot. I pulled that one. There we go. We're down again. Oh Jesus! Sorry for the profanity, but that was terrible. I apologise. Please don't fail me now. So there, guys. Try and silence your bow. Try and get your arrow weight right first. Yeah. And if you've got to start bolting bits and bobs and doodads on this to quieten it down because of the way you're shooting, alter the way you shoot. Find arrows. Arrows are more important than your bow as far as accuracy goes, all that sort of thing. So if you want to try these fancy shooting methods, other than split finger or 3 under, direct 3 under the arrow, you know, do yourself a favour and get yourself an ILF bow or something where you can adjust your limbs, you know, and adjust the tiller, go right into it, do it properly. Because maybe not having the bow set up correctly for your string walking basically affects your accuracy and negates the intentions, all the good things that you're trying to achieve with string walking and your arrow point on for aiming. So yeah, just be careful out there. It's a a murky world out there on YouTube, I found. I'll just show you something else with my longbow. Now this longbow is inherently silent because there's no string content. It just drums. You can hear that. Drums when you pluck it. But does it drum when you shoot an arrow? No, it doesn't. So by doing this, there's no indication. See the string vibrating there? But when you shoot an arrow, no problem. All I've got is a couple of tiny little rubber things here. Just play around with them a little bit. Just enough to take the vibration out of the string after I shoot an arrow. Let's have a listen to this guy. These are too lightweight, these arrows for this. This loves heavy arrows. I shoot 500 grain arrows out of this. 500 to 600, man. It's like slow motion, and you get to watch the arrow go to the target and just land where you aimed. Hear that? I can feel a slight string vibration. Not enough to worry. Loose grip on the bow, Howard Hill style. Wham, right next to the other one. Slow, only about 140 to 150 feet per second. 146. Beautiful. No noise. No need for squirrels' tails or fleece or wool. So, yeah, before you start trying to silence your bow, sort out your arrows, whichever one's the best. It's like they say, arrows are the most important part of the bow, and it's taken me a while to realise that. Having bows that are nearly centre shot. So yeah, shout yourself a few different point weights when you start off, or even if you've been into it for a while. Number of cutting arrows, leave them full length, 30 or 31 inch, whatever they come, whatever spine you want to use. But play around with your point weights. Pull your silencers off, have a go and see what happens. Then you'll find your bow's probably most efficient when it becomes the quietest. And then put your silencers back on if you want to. So yeah, that's what I found, guys. It's subject is widely covered on YouTube. Widely covered. There's a lot of contention. There's all this about string walking. But yeah, as you heard, with your ears don't lie. Your ears don't lie. When you worked hard and saved all your money to buy this equipment, make sure that you set it up properly. Get the information you need from somewhere, usually from guys with a lot of experience out there on YouTube. I found the best. There's a lot of clickbait out there, fancy titles, deadly bare bow, deadly this, super accurate. Then you find out they can barely hit a refrigerator at 20 metres, or they'll spray arrows all over the place, you know. But yeah, start off with your basics. Your ears don't lie. Listen to your equipment. So guys, it's been long-winded. Sorry for taking so long. It's just one of these things I've found along the way that I think could be useful to new archers out there. Okay then, guys. Thanks for joining me in the backyard. There's my cronny. That was the last longbow shot. Let's get it in shot. The last longbow shot. 460 grain arrow at 146 feet per second. It's pretty good. Longbows. Not as fast, but man, they're fun to shoot. Especially if it's like shooting mortar shells. And you get time to watch them go to the target. And you can actually, you can check and see if you've had a good release too by the way the arrow's flying, because it takes a while to get to the target. You can tell whether you've had a good release if the arrow's fishtailing or whatever, you know. But yeah, keep having fun, guys. Use all your senses with your archery. If something doesn't look right, you should question it. It probably isn't. If it doesn't sound right, trust your judgment. It probably isn't right. So, after all that, sorry for being so long-winded. Peace and love to everybody. Cheers from down under. Catch you in the